Hey everybody, welcome back for another week of FMTV Live. I am your host Peter Brown, but of course, like always, I can't do this alone. So, welcome Uncle Ed. How you doing, Ed?
Peter, you make it sound like, oh, it's what a drag. I have Uncle Ed here
You know,
again. Come on, man.
just like always. I'm looking at what's the next key I've got to hit on the different screens and stuff like that, and so I get sidetracked. But yeah. So this week is gonna be awesome. We have, if you don't know already, look at the title of the video. We are getting a chance to talk to AJ DeLaGarza in just a minute, and he's one of the new players for Inter Miami, one of the defenders. So we're gonna get a chance to talk to him. But before we do that, I do want to mention, and I'm not sure if he's in the chat, but if he is in the chat, we've got to find a way, Ed, to reach out to B King. Because B King, last week we had a giveaway. B King won the giveaway. The question from Fernando Fiore was, what year did the Miami Fusion play the first game, and who was it against? So it was 1998, and it was against DC United. And B King went a little extra by even telling the score and saying that it was broadcast on ABC. I mean, if he wanted to get even more points, he would have said it was broadcast by our friend Phil Shane, and the old broadcaster Ty Keogh was the color guy. So, but so we got to reach out to B King and send him his Inter Miami hat, koozie, and what else was that? Oh, little mini ball. Yeah, mini ball. Yeah. I got them all somewhere else, but it will. So let's not waste any more time. Again, everybody, this is your show. So if you're watching live and you want to ask AJ any questions, jump in the chat now and start throwing them in there, and we will read them off. If they make sense. We may skip one or two here and there, so don't be shocked. But hey, AJ, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Man, it's super excited to get to know some of the players. You're our first. Again, welcome to South Florida. I was gonna say welcome to Miami, but really, we'll be playing in Fort Lauderdale at least for the first couple of years. But I'm curious, AJ, when you heard the news that you were coming to Inter Miami, what would you think?
Uh, for me personally, I think it was time for a new challenge in a new city and a new team. And I think for me, I wanted a challenge where with an expansion team. So when I heard that Miami was a possibility, from the get-go, I just focused mainly on Miami and really wanted that to happen no matter what it took to get here. I was all in.
And yet you were a free agent, so you had a say in where you went. That's something.
First time. Yeah, first time in my life.
Right. That's
That's
unusual
nice.
in MLS, and so that's something I'm guessing is probably going to be argued in the CBA as well, as to get more people that opportunity. So. But congratulations on coming here. We're excited. Have you had a chance to kind of look around Miami? I know you got a chance to go hang out with the guys from Southern Legion. What are your thoughts on South
Yeah.
Florida so far?
Well, I've been there twice, but just in South Beach for a wedding and for
Partying.
a
Partying,
guy's,
right?
a guy's trip and a wedding, but never outside of South Beach. But we love it. The area is amazing. It almost feels like home, just being back in LA with the palm trees everywhere, and you just get a good vibe just being there, and a little bit of a fresh air for us.
Well, let's go back a little bit. Let's talk about Houston. We're going to work our way back a little bit. How was your time in Houston? Did you enjoy it? How did you get along also with the fans? Over here, it was great because you reached out to the Southern Legion. How was it? How was the experience in Houston?
It was good. I mean, obviously the way I got to Houston was a little weird, but once I got over that initial shock of being traded to Houston, again, I'm always all in on whatever team I'm playing for, and I give everything I have every game, and good or bad. But my time in Houston was good. Our first year, we definitely shocked a lot of people, and obviously, unfortunately, I tore my ACL the last game of the regular season, and the team went on to we finished fourth in the Western Conference that year. And we went on to the Western Conference Finals and ended up losing to Seattle. But after that, obviously didn't play my second year. And the third year started off really well for us in Champions League, even competing with Tigres pretty well, home and away, or away and away, or whatever you want to call it. And then I think the team and everyone just kind of hit a turning point in the season, whatever it may have been, and it's kind of a downward spiral, unfortunately, and we couldn't turn things around. And it, I think, left a bad taste in players' mouths and obviously the fans' mouths as well.
Yeah. And talk about the fans a little bit. How was the experience with them? Are they crazy? I mean, I'll tell you the truth. I lived in Houston for about a year, and it was. Yeah, it's. I had a job over there for a little bit. I didn't like it too much compared to Miami. I guess I was just too used to Miami, and then. But how was the fan experience over there? How did you like living over there too? Tell us the truth, man. Come on.
Yeah. No. Yeah. We definitely loved Houston. Like, the city is amazing. But one of my things was when I'm finding a new team as a free agent was I want to go somewhere and really enjoy playing the game and enjoy the environment. For whatever reason, obviously the team didn't do well for the last 4 years before I got there. So we definitely lost a lot of fans, and whether it was marketing or other excuses, there's just the atmosphere was never really there, unfortunately. And I think the city deserves a team that they can support and should support. And I think the guys who work their tails off day in, day out, and that heat deserve a crowd that was cheering them on. And that's not to say that it wasn't loud with half the stadium that was there, because the ones that are there are the true fans, and they were there through thick and thin. So shout out to those guys, and definitely a bright future for them, I'm sure.
You mentioned the Heat and Houston, and that reminds me of a conversation I was recently having with current, general manager for Miami FC, which Paul Dalglish, who had a career in Houston as well with the Dynamo for a short period of time, and he was telling me about playing and the physicality, what the toll it takes on your body when you're playing in that kind of heat. And I imagine it might be a similar situation here in South Florida. But talk a little bit about that, the toll it takes on a player. Because I don't know if fans really understand what you guys go through. And he was telling me it's pretty gut-wrenching. Like, he was saying his gut at the end of the game, it just feels like so upset because you're so drained from the heat. And it's a completely different feeling than, say, playing somewhere else in, maybe LA or Colorado or some other city. Talk about that a little.
Yeah. Totally different. Yeah, I mean, some guys or fans or past players would make comments about how it's an advantage, but I don't understand how playing in that type of heat is an advantage, because you're doing it every single day. That's not, for me, it wasn't like altitude. Like, altitude you can get used to and use that to your advantage, but heat, you're playing it every day and you're just draining your body every single day, and then having to rehydrate just to do the same thing the next day. Like, so it definitely takes a toll. There were games we had in Houston where guys are literally walking, like both teams are walking. I remember a game, Houston versus Dallas, so two teams that are used to the heat, but it was so humid out there that it looked poor out there. So those are the kind of games you get in Houston, though. And
it's a lot like that over here too.
I think our humidity might be worse.
It's there. It's about the same, I think.
I heard it was a little better, and then, but the beach is close,
you got the beach. You can go cool off in the ocean.
Yeah.
So that's something interesting you said, though. Is that's I was wondering is everybody always says, like, when you think about like the Miami Dolphins, the NFL team, they train in this heat, so they're more acclimated to it, and so they're at an advantage. But you're saying that. No, you're not, because you're drained just like anybody else.
Yeah,
no advantage.
I think if you're doing an hour and a half of training in the heat, and then another team's doing an hour and a half training in beautiful, nice weather, and wherever else
Right.
they are, obviously your body's taking more damage to it, and it's just it takes a toll over the time of 10 months of the
Sure.
season.
That's true. That's true. Let's go back a little bit now to the Galaxy. You got to play with David Beckham, man. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah,
Now you get to work for him.
yeah, obviously, yeah.
And now you get to work with him. Yeah.
That's you guys make me feel old when you say that, because like
Not compared to me.
I used to play with him, and now he's an owner of a team. So obviously, when I went there to LA, I was a rookie and didn't really know much about the Galaxy other than Landon Dime and David Beckham. And when I saw David Beckham for the first time, I was kind of starstruck and all. But he was one of the guys. Turned out to be one of the guys, and one of the biggest competitors day in and day out in trainings and in games, and would push us, and obviously a hell of a player.
All right. Let's go to the chat a little bit. So we've got a few people in here. Welcome, Confecciones Minole. I don't know what that means. On the gringo of the group. Hey, hi to Juan Cabrera. Eric Thomas is in there.
That's Pinocho. That's Pinocho. You met him. Okay. He says he misses
That's Juan? Okay.
Yeah.
That's Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
Okay, well, Pinocchio asks, I think, maybe a silly question, but I've just seen it popping up in a couple of different chats and stuff like that, so why not ask it? How do you feel about playing? Would you like to play with Usain Bolt? Strange question, but there you go.
I mean, I haven't really seen his skill too much.
Neither.
He's all speed.
He's all speed. That's all he's got. He can run fast.
Yeah. So I'm not sure.
Really kick off.
I'll probably pass on that.
That's like playing with Ocho Cinco. I'm sure you've heard of the NFL player Ocho Cinco. Now,
yeah, of course.
I have seen him play, and he plays currently. I don't know if he's going to this season, but he was last season playing with the local, fourth division, fifth division team, Boca Raton FC. And I saw him play a little bit. He's a guy that's got some speed, and I love the fact that this guy is doing it at the lower levels and just playing and working his way. If it's anything, great. But he's got a lot to be desired in his ball skill. But I love the guy's desire. I love to see somebody else from another sport try, but not necessarily just aiming for the top flight. Like, look, I'm going to work my way from bottom up. I respect that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's also bringing recognition to the game, and from a high level wide receiver in the NFL.
Outspoken wide receiver.
Well, yeah.
Big time. Well, I want to mention B King got on the chat room, so he didn't catch that. He won the prize. So B King, be sure to contact us on social media, and we'll get you your stuff.
Hit us, hit PM, private message us on any of the social medias at Futbol Miami TV, and we'll get you your stuff.
AJ, let's talk a little bit about the national teams, man. That you did a little switcheroo. What made you do the switcheroo, man?
Well, a little background. I was with the U.S. for 4 January camps, so both under Bob Bradley and Jurgen Klinsmann, and got 2 caps, both wins, by the way, versus Panama and Venezuela, but so undefeated with the U.S. But to me, it was I was too far down the depth chart, and I think even in those camps and in the 2 games that I did play, coming off the MLS season, I was mainly a center back, and in those camps, kind of training center back, maybe a little bit right back, but in the games kind of got thrown into the deep end in a right back position, which was a position that I'd never really played in my life. So at that point, you're making that jump from club soccer to international soccer, and it's a huge step, and in a position I wasn't comfortable with, and it definitely showed in those games, I think, at times. But so to me, I was too far down the depth chart, and I wanted to make an impact internationally, and that was the only way I could do that was to go to Guam. But I contacted Jurgen before I made that decision, and just told him where I kind of stood, and obviously he was fine with it, and so I wanted to make an impact for my grandmother's country, girls soccer in an area where the team was losing by double digits, and me coming in, hopefully bring some type of presence and some type of a name and someone that the kids could look up, because it wasn't about me going to a World Cup, but it's about what can happen down the future for those kids who have been watching us for the last few years. But actually last week I told my Guam coach that I was retiring from international soccer. At this stage in my career, it just almost wasn't worth it. The travel is really demanding. I would literally flew around the world in a week, and then having to come back to your club team and try to perform days after a world flight. It was really tough, and I would come back and too many little nagging injuries. And just this past year, did the same thing. Went to Bhutan and helped the team there and get into the World Cup qualifiers. And but when I got back from that, my body was just dead tired, and I think that's kind of where I hit a wall in the season. So for me, it was I want to focus totally on Inter Miami, and that's it. And
we like that.
To do that, I needed to get that off my chest and tell my coach that I was done playing international soccer.
Wow. Well,
didn't Thomas Rongen coach that team for a bit?
No, not Guam.
No, not Guam. I thought it was Guam.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure which countries he is.
Who was the head coach?
I know it was a little island.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess I got it mixed up because Rongen's one of our buddies, but I haven't talked to him in a while. But all right. Well, that's good. Yeah. Does Guam embrace that sport? I mean, how is the sport there? I mean, I know you were trying to make an impact in a small country on soccer, but how do they feel? What's their number one sport? I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm not even sure either. I would say, I mean, I know some football players and rugby players from Guam, but I'm not really sure. I literally never went to the country until I committed to play there.
Which is interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, my grandmother, and I have cousins and aunts and uncles that still live out there. And, never before have I been out there until I committed to go. And, but yeah, I think soccer is definitely becoming the sport there, though. And you can see it when we have games when the kids aren't in school. But I think soccer will for sure take over in that country. And I think our youth teams, too, are growing.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Eric Thomas is asking how you feel. I know you had an injury. You told us a little bit about that when we met up. How's it looking? Do you think you're going to be at the first game? Because I'm going to LA, by the way. So I want to see you. I want to see you playing. But how does it look? You think you're going to be ready for the first game?
Yeah, they said I should be ready by the beginning of preseason, which is coming up pretty quickly now. So, it shouldn't be any worries. And obviously, we have 6 weeks to prepare until we play that first game.
Nice. Well, I'm going to be in LA, so I'm going to be ready.
Yeah, I hope to see a lot of you. A lot of you should be there.
Yeah, a lot of people are going. It's the first game in the history, so it's going to be historic.
It's a long trip, but it'll be a special good trip.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hey, this I thought was odd, but maybe that's just me making a silly assumption. But Juan Cabrera was asking about, since you're going to live down here, will you try to learn more Spanish? How's your Spanish?
I already talked to my wife about it. I already looked up a tutor and everything. In LA though, it was mostly English speakers, so I was never really around it. In Houston, we had a lot of South Americans, like our Hondurans, but they talk way too fast. Like I couldn't understand a single word they say. It was just a lot of yelling, and they talk really loud and and really fast, and I could never catch on. And obviously a lot of people think I speak Spanish, but I know absolutely nothing. So
I'm one of those. I just assume by the last name, and I look at your background. I just assume maybe you had Spanish in the household as you're a kid.
Yeah. No,
Well,
I
it's
wish.
yeah, you're gonna have
You're just like
you're
me.
gonna have
Man.
a lot of opportunity. That's for sure. Because we're a lot
Yeah.
of people who speak Spanish. So
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
can get by down here without. You don't have to, but
Yeah.
it will help you.
in Fort Lauderdale.
Well, even in Miami, Ed. Come on, I've lived down here all my life. I don't speak a lick. I go to Colombia all the time, and I don't speak Spanish.
But you're north, Peter. Now you're not down here in Miami. I'm in Miami.
but
I'm telling you,
I grew
this
up
is
down
a different
there.
country.
I grew up down there. Now I know it was a long time ago, but it was in the 70s and 80s. But
That's a long time ago.
all right, fine.
AJ wasn't even born back then.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
he's young. It's good because I don't want an old guy on the team. I want a nice, fresh, young guy on the team that has some legs left in him. You don't want me out on the field.
No, I definitely don't want you there. That's for sure.
So, all right. Well, that's good. There was another question here from wondering if you might try to help the team and bring some of your friends from the Galaxy days here to South Florida. If you're gonna help recruit, is that in your job title?
I'm down to do whatever. I think everyone would love to go to Miami. So that's one of those cities where guys would just love to go play and represent a team. And I've told quite a few of my friends in the league already how what I've seen of the facilities so far. I was like, it's going to be the best facility in the league,
Nice.
Easily. So,
and you've seen them.
They're already excited for me, and maybe one day they can all get here. But yeah.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the training facility. You were there. What was your impression?
Yeah, what impressed you about it?
First of all, it's maybe halfway built, but like walking into an empty building and just them telling me what every room kind of was, just something I've never seen.
Really?
Or been a part of in LA or Houston. It's just something that I think should be the minimum in the league. But this is even above that. So I think the minimum facility is half of what the Inter Miami facility is required to be. So it's going to be massive, and we're going to have every opportunity and resource in-house to take care of our bodies, to watch videos, to eat, nutrition, and workouts and everything. So everything's there for us under one roof, and it's up to us from that point.
What was one thing that they told you that's going to be there that really impressed you? Like, one item that you were kind of maybe blown away with.
Just the kitchen and
Okay.
the eating area. I mean, I walked into that and it was bigger than anything it was bigger than the Galaxies and Houston's facility, just the kitchen area and lounge, and it also overlooked
The fields.
the training fields and everything. So obviously never been a part of that either, but just everything was just, I don't know, it's hard to explain it. Like once you see it in person, I think everyone will be amazed and pumped about it.
Yeah,
we're looking forward to that.
Just add a little to that. I normally do a construction video every single Sunday, and I put it up on Mondays. Guys, I did not go out today. It was a little rainy, so I didn't want to, get anything wet. So, I'm kind of like the Wicked Witch of West. I didn't want to, turn into a puddle. So, did not go out there. So there will be a video next week, but no construction video this week, guys. But yeah, I whatever. It's the holidays. But yeah, I go out there every single weekend and walking the perimeter. Of course, they don't let me inside, but I walk the perimeter.
But you've got connections. You've got that lead. What's her name?
I don't know her real name.
Dolores.
I named her Dolores because I don't know her name. So
Oh, why'd you ask?
I don't know her name. But I talked to her. I didn't ask her name, but so I gave her a name. To me, she's Dolores.
Oh,
and I say hi to her every week. But
she's probably watching the video and
she's
saying,
not.
"Come on, Peter, that's not my name."
That's why she's not letting you in.
She doesn't know. She doesn't know the first thing.
That's not even my name.
Exactly.
He doesn't even get my name right. Why am I going to let the guy in?
Yeah.
The people working there don't even know anything. It's funny is I have construction workers that see me and they wave me down. One guy waved me down asking me how to get tickets. I'm like, you're working the stadium. You don't know anything. He doesn't know anything. They're just construction workers, but some of them are excited about it, so they want to know how to get tickets. But I think it's going to be pretty impressive, especially all those training fields. You even have the one turf field if you guys ever need to practice on turf. Just tons
We don't
of.
need to do that.
No, you don't. But don't.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
But it okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is a normal practice, wouldn't it be? Like if you're going to go play and
Yeah.
say, New England, maybe the day
No,
before.
yeah, right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, even for a really rainy day, I'm sure there's plenty of those in Miami. You'll probably be out on the turf field as well. So
Well, they have
yeah,
they have
it
one.
would be
Yeah,
good.
they have one
Yeah.
at the now. What surprised me is they lined it with soccer fields because it's being built for high school football, but they lined it with soccer lines. I thought they would line it with football lines, but soccer lines. It's going to be used for the local high schools, besides obviously you guys. But that's great.
Nice.
That's good stuff. Well, let's talk about one of the big concerns here in Miami right now is the coach.
Right.
And it's taken forever. Well, at least as a fan, and Peter and I were both kind of a little frustrated with that, and everybody I talk to is frustrated with that. It seems now we have a coach.
We think.
Yeah, we
Seems
think.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Michelle Kaufman, who's also one of the few people that talks about soccer in South Florida,
Newspaper.
when she writes about something, it's because usually it's going to happen. But she's been wrong.
She
too,
has
though.
lately because everybody's been wrong when it comes to Inter Miami.
Yeah. So we've
Yeah.
got Alonso. He's going to be apparently the coach. He used to be the coach of Monterrey in Mexico.
Pachuca.
Pachuca also. What are your thoughts? Do you know who he is? What are your thoughts about the coach?
Careful what you say.
Not being named yet. Yeah.
Who, me or him?
You want to get on the field.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, at first I heard of Vieira, just the rumors. And obviously I know some guys who play with him. So, I would just ask, like, how is he as a coach? Heard good things. And now Diego Alonso is rumored. So I know Omar Gonzalez, obviously, really well from college in the Galaxy for a while. And that was his coach at Pachuca. And he only had good things to say about him and how his tactics were and how his assistants were and how helpful. And he was just saying that I would be able to definitely learn a lot from their team. So whichever way it goes, I think it's a win. Obviously, for fans, they want a big name coach, but for a player, I think we just want a coach that will come in and have an idea and tactics, especially for myself, idea with tactics and a real playing style and something we train daily on. And that's all. I want to play good, attractive soccer.
Yeah, of course. So some people are concerned that he may be a little more defensive, and we want to play more attacking. Everything they've said, but hey, at the end of the day, I think all we care about is getting this team out on the field. It's been a long time coming as fans down here since we lost the Miami Fusion. We just want to get back out, get a team out on the field to cheer for and hope for the best. But the thing with the coaching situation, so much of the internet and around the country, to some extent become a laughing stock because we keep thinking we're going to get every big name coach in the world, but to some extent it's partially because the hype machine around Inter Miami, including from the ownership group all the way through people like us, that we expected this big name, and when you hear about Diego Alonso, it sounds a little bit like you're settling. But at the end of the day, we just can't wait till to see you guys out on the pitch. And but I'm curious, you're a veteran player. How much does a coach really impact you and your playing style or anything? Obviously, he puts you on the field and he makes that decision. But besides, giving you the green light, what do you really learn from as a veteran from a coach like him?
I think a lot.
Yeah. Never too old to learn, right?
Yeah, no, never. But I think for me, I came from LA mainly as a center back and came to Houston as a right back, but I never really was taught tactics. I feel like maybe we had ideas defending on what we should do, but we were a counter-attacking team, and we would sit back, four defenders, really more the first year. And there was times where we wouldn't even cross half field because, like I said, in Houston, it's hot. So, but we had guys up top who were dangerous, and in that first season, were finishing the ball very, very well. So So for us as defenders, there was times in games where we didn't have to cross half field. But I really want to learn not only myself, but where my teammates should be, and just have ideas. I think for me, that's the thing, because unfortunately, I didn't have that in Houston too often. I think a lot of guys probably felt like that, and I think it showed that sometimes too, where we just didn't know where each other should be. I didn't know where my teammate should be. He didn't know where he should be. So it was kind of like a free for all at times.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. AJ, there's a lot of new players, a lot of teammates you're gonna have.
It's all new.
Yeah, well, yeah,
It's all new.
Well, tell us a little bit about the ones maybe that you know. There's Juan Agudelo. Tell us which ones you've met already.
Oh man, well I know Juan Agudelo well because he beat me 4 years ago in a Continental Tires thing for MLS, and the winner got to have an Audi R8 for a year, and he beat me by like 0.03 seconds in the finals. So
do you give him a hard time about that when you see him?
Yeah, I always hate him for that, but because he had a white Audi R8 with a red interior. Look, I was jealous. I would cry every time I passed the Audi dealership after I lost that. But no, but yeah, obviously a lot of veteran players and quite a few young South American players as well, who I don't really know, but have heard really good things about. But obviously today we signed Roman Torres, and we have Agudelo, myself, Robles, and Lee Win. So a bunch of guys who have won in this league, whether it be supporter shields, MLS Cups. So hopefully we can show the entire team and the new players what it takes daily to win in this league, because we have the players that can do it. So in the preseason, it's going to be important that we all gel together and do it rather quickly.
Yeah, right.
So we can get off on the right foot.
I mean, first game's against LAFC, so you better learn quick, right? Because welcome to the league.
Yeah.
You're playing like one of the best teams.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they're already getting picked to win the MLS Cup in 2020, so, it's definitely, you might want to ease into the league, but nope, you're right off the bat facing some of the stiffest competition.
Just give them the Miami, LA already. That's what everybody wants, so.
Yeah, I mean, well, and then LA, different LA, but a Galaxy here in our home.
Yeah.
So, get it.
2 weeks later. 2 weeks later.
That's going to be... although Galaxy is probably the easier of the two teams, but you never know. Speaking of players, I'm curious, throughout your... Well, no, forget about career. Let's talk about now. What current MLS player do you think is the toughest player to play against for you personally?
Current? Man. There's so many... So from when I came into the league until now, there's so many more technical players. So being able to see this league grow has been amazing. For me, I couldn't tell you that one guy gives me more of a fit than another, because literally things change daily. You could, I remember playing Toronto. I don't remember, maybe earlier this year, but you have a guy you don't really know, so there's no video on him. You don't know what he's like. You don't know what foot he is, so you have to find out rather quickly. And I feel like those are the toughest challenges, rather than a guy that you've seen a lot of times. You know what he likes to do. You know his tendencies. So for me, it's those younger kids who really have nothing to lose, right. And they just go out there. So those are tough ones. But that's it. I couldn't give you one specific. There's too many good players in this league now.
What if I read between the lines? I'm hearing that you're not afraid of anybody. Bring them on. You can take them all.
Of course.
Take them all.
Yeah. I've been a defender since I was 14 years old, so that's just what I'm used to. And when I was a center back, obviously I would go up against guys that were 6'4", like Alan Gordon, and he had his fair share of dunks on me, but I think I handled myself pretty well, and obviously did pretty well in the position. So looking to continue that success here in Miami.
Which one's your favorite? Which in the back line? What's your favorite position? Is it the right back or the center back? Or even
Man,
if they put you in
if
left.
you asked me, yeah, if you asked me 3 years ago, I would have said center
Right.
back, and now it's kind of right back. But really, wherever I can be on a daily basis and learn and get those reps in, I think is crucial. So, like I said, just getting a coach in that will give you his tactics and where exactly he wants you to be, but also letting you be free and be a player, because you have to make decisions on your own. But just having an idea, I think. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind center back,
All
but
right.
if I had to pick one, there's less running in Miami. That'd be nice.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, always chill. So,
AJ, what's your favorite soccer team outside of MLS? So a lot of people here are writing about, a lot of people in Miami like Madrid or
Barcelona.
Real Madrid or Barcelona. So they're always talking about what's your favorite team, even if it's not one of those two teams.
yeah. So it was actually Manchester United, and when I was a young kid, that was the team that was always on. That was a team that had the cool kids, the red, white, and black, and that's just what drew me to them. And obviously that they had quite a few world-class players on the team back then, so it was easy to like them. But also I was young, and I followed DC United when I was little, but overseas, yeah, it was Manchester United, and I still try to follow them now, but obviously not as much.
Yeah, you mentioned red. How do you like pink?
Oh, I love
There
pink.
you go.
Yeah.
It's funny as forever, my wife has always wanted me to get, like a pink button-down shirt. And I'm always like, nah, I don't want it. Now she's like, I got a chance now because his team is wearing pink. Because now everything's going to be pink.
Yeah. I got 3 pair of pink shoes for Christmas, so I'll be rocking pink a lot.
All right. Hey, question in the chat room is people want to get to know you a little bit more on a personal level. Wondering what your favorite type of restaurants, music, movies. What do you like?
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
So movies, all my friends can tell you. They'll always try to reference like movie quotes, and I'll be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I'm not a movie guy, so I like stand-up comedies, Kevin Hart, and those kind of movies, but I couldn't tell you anything else movie-wise. So, but food-wise, sushi is my top, like 100%. So I got to find a good Miami spot for sushi if anyone has recommendations.
Or Fort Lauderdale, because you're going to be coming to work in Fort Lauderdale, right? So.
Yeah, but I'll probably go eat in Miami.
Oh, wait. What's wrong with
or wherever?
There's a lot of good food all over.
What makes you think that the food in Miami is better than the food in Fort Lauderdale? I take offense to that.
No, nothing. But that's just probably where I'll live closer to. I'm not sure.
No, do you like ceviche? One of the guys is asking.
Good.
Armando's asking. He makes good ceviche. That's why he's asking.
I love ceviche. Yeah, I went to Peru one off season, and we got to make ceviche, and I was hooked ever since. So ceviche is probably one of my top choices as well.
You can have a lot of that over here, that's for sure.
Yeah,
can't
wait for that. Sushi and ceviche, I'm set.
Nice,
and some tacos. I'll take some tacos too.
Of course,
taco places.
Not
as much as like in Texas, but I went to Dallas one time, and every other restaurant is a taco place there. But it's not quite. It's not quite like that
like
here.
Yeah, that's like Tex-Mex though. I wasn't a fan of that. So
I did.
Yeah, but music-wise, I like hip hop, but I wouldn't. Sometimes I do listen to country music. Just
reggaeton. There's a lot of reggaeton over here.
Oh yeah, always. I went to a Bad Bunny concert recently.
There you go.
Like I said, I don't know Spanish, but that was the best concert I've been to in my life. So a good time, just a good vibe. So yeah, I always turn that on here, and me and my wife know the words, but we don't know what they even say or mean. So we got to be careful what we say.
Yeah, there's a couple of chants that are reggaeton songs converted into to support Inter Miami. So that's you got to learn those.
Yeah, I'll learn those.
Yeah. I don't know any of it, but you mentioned Kevin Hart. It's funny I don't know if you've seen it. He's got a Netflix series or something that. So don't blank this up or something. I'm not the biggest Kevin Hart fan, but for whatever reason, I flipped through and I watched it. Pretty interesting. I don't know. Have you seen that?
I feel like I have, but like I said, I'm so bad with.
You got. If you haven't, you got to watch it. It's a series he did where they followed him around for close to a year or whatever, and you know,
Oh,
where
wow. Yeah, no, I haven't seen that one.
it talked about his you know, a lot of his failures, cheating on his wife and messing up the Academy Awards, and it's pretty interesting. I got to, like I said, I don't really know his stand up all that much because, you know, I don't like cursing, but it was an interesting show.
Yeah, I have to check it out.
Yeah, you got to
for
check
sure.
it out. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Do you play PlayStation? Do you do FIFA at all?
Some people want to beat you,
people,
I think.
People are asking.
They want to
beat
play
you.
against you.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I actually played my nephews yesterday and beat them.
Look at
They're
that.
14 and they play every single day, and I probably haven't played in like 2 years. So I still got it.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, kids kind of took over life. So whenever I'm not at training or taking a nap after training, I'm messing around with the kids, playing, taking them outside, just being a family guy. So I love being around my girls and my wife, and that's what makes me happy. Not so much sitting down and playing FIFA anymore and seeing myself with my low scores. So I gotta work on that this year.
When you're playing against 14-year-olds, are you smack talking?
Oh, all the time.
Put them in their place. I mean,
before we even start, it's trash talking.
I mean, you know, I've got a 15-year-old, so I know 14-year-olds. You know, they can they're very full of confidence. You got to put them in their place.
Yeah, exactly. I did.
Good. But yeah, you know, girls. I mean, you know, I have a daughter, and we were talking about earlier. It's just like full of dance. So get ready for to embrace prop, maybe. You know, some tutus and dance and become a dance dad. It's
Yeah, she's done it once, and watching the video almost made me tear up because she really enjoyed it. So I had to find a spot out there too. She loves to dance.
If you end up in Broward, wherever you live, if you end up in Broward, I can point you to a good ballet studio. But where my daughter goes is awesome. It's a great studio. But yeah, it's funny is you know, talking about kids and relating it to soccer. Is my daughter recently asked me, you know, because if she does, you know, they do these shows and sometimes they do multiple performances, and I want to see every single performance, and so I'm buying tickets for every single performance. It's an expensive hobby, by the way, or whatever it is. But you know, she says, how come you want to go to see every one? They're all the same. Just go to see one. And I'm like, look. When I played soccer, my mother came out to every single game. She didn't know the first thing about soccer, but she supported me through everything. And she didn't know this sport. All she would yell in from the sidelines is hustle, hustle. That's all she would do. She didn't know anything else. And I'm like,
and every game's different.
Yeah, but I'm like, that's me for your ballet. you're out on the dance floor is like me being out of the field. You know, I'm gonna support every single show. And you know, I mean, sometimes that means hours and hours of watching kids dance, but it's the best. Enjoy it.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, exactly. While they're young, for sure.
AJ, I forgot to ask you about. I mean, you've won a lot of championships, man. Tell us how does that feel? I mean, you've won.
Good.
I think you won with Houston the Open Cup and with the Galaxy, a whole bunch of championships. How does it feel to be a champ? And you got to bring that over here to Miami.
Teach
too,
that to the people here in Miami.
Yeah, for sure. I've been very fortunate and worked really hard from club soccer, being able to win championships there, and college, being there 4 years and being able to win an NCAA championship twice as a freshman and senior, and then obviously the MLS Cups and Supporter Shields in LA, and you know, Open Cup in Houston. Just I hope to bring that winning mentality wherever I go, and obviously I'll do whatever I can to help Miami and get to where we want to be and need to be in this first year, because Miami is a team coming into the league where there's no just coming into the league. We
super high.
We come in and we want we're a big market team, and the expectations are high from the beginning. It doesn't matter who's on your team. So it's all about winning. So we'll know that, and and we will know that the first game of the season when it starts.
And the fans
guess
are
so.
tough here, because you're coming into a market where I don't know about any other market. I know LA would be a very educated market. New York would be an educated market. Houston maybe too. But it's a very smart soccer educated market you're coming into. So fans can be tough.
Yeah.
And so it's up to you and your fellow players to really impress these people so they come back, because it is a tough market too. And so,
Yeah.
being good from day one is vital
For
the
sure.
success.
Yeah, we want to grow the game. I think we need to have a team that wins, and I think that was the thing in Houston was we weren't winning at points in seasons, and the crowds kind of reflected that. When you start winning, I think we can blame whatever it is, but if you win, people will
Winning
come.
cures all.
Exactly, you win and they'll come. That's my thing.
Yeah, it can be a tough sports market. Just ask the Miami Dolphins. But, like you're saying, it happened in Houston. I think it happens everywhere. Just people want to support winners. And this is, like I said, a very soccer-savvy market. And if they're not seeing, you've got a lot of soccer snobs here. And it may be the same in other markets as well, where if they're not seeing the highest level, if they're not, they're going to give up on the team. So I think everybody's expecting us to come into the league like Atlanta did. Atlanta is what everybody is it's kind of setting nobody wants to be like Cincinnati. Everybody wants to be like Atlanta. That's how you launch a team.
Yeah, exactly. They did everything right. And obviously we have Paul running the ship here. So he knows what it takes. And obviously Beckham as an owner knows what it takes to win, as you can see, just through the facilities and stuff. So everything will be there for us.
We didn't ask you if you got to talk to Beckham. Did you talk to him at all when you signed?
No, I haven't talked to him. He's a busy man. I follow him on Instagram, but he's a busy man.
How much impact do you expect him to have on this team? Because, originally I think a lot of us thought he might have a good amount of impact, but as time goes by, I'm thinking it's less and less and less.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he will have a little bit of an impact, but I think he's hired guys in the positions to help this team succeed. So I know Paul has built a team that he thinks can win. So just got to get a coach in there who can now lead us to that.
This is the third time Paul's done it. So more success with Atlanta than Orlando, but third time. We got a guy that knows what he's doing.
Yeah, for sure.
And he did really well with Atlanta, so we're hoping over here he bats a home run, because a lot of people are anxious. No big name players heard yet. A lot of rumors, but we'll see.
Lots of rumors.
Every rumor. Every player.
Yeah, every guy's rumored to come here.
Who would you like to see here? If you could pick one of these big names, who would you pick?
Obviously everyone would want to see Messi out there, but
maybe someday, right? Not yet.
Yeah, him. Even a guy like Cavani, just a hard-nosed goal scorer up top, and I'm sure they'll make the right signings. But to me, it's not always about the big names. It's about finding those gems like Miguel Almiron and cashing in on that on the field and off the field.
Yeah,
well, that's like there's a couple of young Argentinians that are coming in that they played under 23 for the national teams of Argentina. They're pretty good. We just did an interview with Julian Carranza, who's one of the attackers. We just did a video on him, the video right before this one. So I'm excited to see what develops, man. Can't wait.
Sure. Yeah, I know everyone. That's what we've been saying for a long time.
Yeah, and you
can't wait.
And you mentioned that it doesn't need to be the biggest names, and that made me think of, and Ed's familiar with this. I don't know if you know anything about the Miami Fusion, but our old team down here, when everybody thinks that MLS failed in South Florida with the Miami Fusion, there's a lot more to that story than most people remember. But that was that final year, that team that Ray Hudson put together, and that was not the best group of players. Not many of them went on and had long careers. Obviously, Pablo and Mastroeni and Kyle Beckerman have, and Nick Raimondo did. But several of the players kind of went off and kind of, didn't do that great in other situations. But that was like the perfect storm, the perfect cohesion and chemistry for a group of guys. And so that's really what it takes. And hopefully we have a coach announcing Monday, hopefully, that can make that cohesive unit. And Paul, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, let's start wrapping it up as we're getting close to an hour. And Ed was saying that you have a foundation. Tell us about your foundation.
Oh, yeah. So 5 years ago in 2014, my wife and I found out we were pregnant with our first child. And unfortunately, at the 20-week appointment, we found out he had a very serious heart condition, and we knew he would be born with it. And we went on with the pregnancy, did whatever we thought we could that made sense to help him during that process. And for me, I was a believer in that everything would be okay. But unfortunately, he passed away after he was a week old. And we started Luka Knows Hart just as a slogan for our family and friends to follow along with us. And eventually, the entire league followed along with us through our journey and helping us and supporting us. So as of right now, we just have a clothing line that we started actually 3-4 months ago. And with the proceeds of that, we want to give back and raise awareness and help other families in need or that are going through the same thing we have. So that's where we are now, and we're very in our real beginning stages still. So yeah, we have a lot to learn. So right now it's just my wife and I running the ship.
How can people find out more about this if they want to contribute in some way?
Yeah, so our website is lukaknowshart.com. We have an Instagram account, a Facebook account, and Twitter account that we barely use. But yeah, that's about it right now. For us, we during our time, our weekend in the hospital with our kid, we stayed at the Ronald McDonald House. So we do a lot of drives for the Ronald McDonald House. A lot of things that they need, that other families need, because we have families in these houses that are there for years. And it's sad, and we just want to help and help those families and kids and raise awareness as much as we can.
Cool. What other? Tell us a little bit about the how people could reach out to you. What's your social media so they can connect with you and send you messages?
Yeah, send me all the DMs.
Yeah.
My Instagram is AJD_20. I've been number 20 actually since I was 14 years old or something like that. So, I already texted the kit man that I have dibs on 20 in case any other players are listening in.
Yeah. Don't touch dibs, 20.
But,
yes.
Yeah, but that's it. That's my Instagram and Twitter as well. So. Not so much active on Twitter that much anymore, but still get on there from time to time, and I like to talk trash. So,
oh, cool.
Whatever
I think we all do. Yeah, it's going to start a lot more once the team starts playing. So, that'll be
I'm sure we'll see that. I'm gonna start blocking you though. So.
Okay. Well, no, unless you don't play right, then I might,
Nah. You might block me.
Maybe. We'll see. Probably not.
Oops.
All right. So a lot of people were talking about, the training facility before we go. Have you heard where the training facility is going to be? Is it because obviously
the temporary one.
Fort Lauderdale, it's not going to be ready for the start. So have they mentioned where it's going to be at? Nothing. No idea.
No, I think obviously we're gonna leave out of town and go travel places. You can see other teams posting their off season or their preseason schedules So you're kind of seeing ours kind of fill in with dates and stuff and where we'll be exactly. But yeah, I think we'll be in Tampa. I think we're in Miami for a week maybe, but I'm not exactly sure where that will be. I think gone for another 2 weeks, and yeah, we'll be all over. I'm guessing, because I don't think the facilities are be ready until March. So
yeah, but it's moving quick. Every time I'm out there, hey, all you need is a field, right? Really? There's a field there. It's got grass.
Some grass.
Yeah, we got some grass.
You just need grass.
They got grass.
Yeah.
Why not?
That'll work.
Why not play there and just roll out some ice machines and stuff like that?
Yeah.
For a month.
Exactly. Yeah, we'd be
That's
fine.
doable.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the grass is ready to play on, but it's been rolled out for like 3 weeks or so on the training pitch. 2-3 weeks, something like that.
It's looking decent. Yeah, I was just there. It's looking decent.
Do any turns on it? See if it, test it out a little. See if it's firm enough.
Slide.
Do some slide tackles on it.
I didn't even touch it.
No, he's still hurt. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I didn't even touch
so
it.
you can do that.
That's true. Well,
Keep me away from the field.
Well, we hope that you are healthy enough to start the season. We hope great things. Wish great things for you in this upcoming season and many years here with Inter Miami. Best of luck moving forward. It's exciting times, and it's got to be exciting for you also knowing that you're launching this team. You'll go down as part of the history of the club as being the inaugural team. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. That was another attraction. Be a part of something brand new, and kind of everyone has their own footprint. So I don't know how many other words I can say. Excited. I need a thesaurus at this point, but I'm excited. And my family's excited, and we just can't wait to get started.
All right, can't wait for you guys to get down here, get settled. Hey, thanks so much for spending this close to an hour with us, and really appreciate your time. And like I said, best of luck. And any last words, Ed?
No, I'm just happy that his battery didn't die. Earlier, he was telling us that his battery was going to die. And
we're good.
We're good. We still got we got some battery life, but that's good.
Just my earphones are dying now.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The AirPods don't last forever.
All right, AJ.
Yeah, they don't.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Hopefully we can catch up with you sometime later down the road in the middle of the season or something. But you've been great. I know you were great with the supporters group, and they really appreciate you spending some time with them, as do we. So thanks so much, and best of luck.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Hey, everybody, just stay tuned for, next Wednesday or so we'll have, or Wednesday's New Year's Eve. So Thursday, or New Year's Day, whatever. We'll have the news video coming up on like Thursday or so. No construction update this week, but we will get back to normal next week. And then, of course, come here on next Sunday as we do this one more time for... next week will be a new year, so it'll be the first one for 2020, so that'll be good. So thanks so much for everybody for helping us grow this channel, and thanks to AJ for helping us as well. That's going to grow the channel right here. Just this interview will do it.
Just
it's going to
AJ.
get a few hundred extra viewers, or subscribers, just because AJ was on here. So thanks so much. Like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you next week.